morning. It is 5:20 in the morning. I am sat on my kitchen floor drinking some ginger juice mix. It's my pro tip for my immunity. There's these little packs from Trader Joe's that I drink every single morning because everyone around me is sick and I refuse to get sick. I have to perform a solo play next week that I wrote. I have to perform as every single character in the play that I wrote. So no getting sick. No getting sick. So right now it's 5:20 in the morning, right? Yesterday when I woke up at 5 in the morning, my neighbor's lights were on. And I was like, oh, that's so interesting. They're waking up early with me today. Their lights are never on. Normally when I wake up at 5, it's very quiet. No lights on around me. No people awake. That's why I love it. I love being awake before everyone else. And so I thought that was so interesting. So I was looking out of my blinds trying to see, like, what are they doing right now? And some people were leaving the apartment, saying goodbye, whatever. And then I watched the people that live in that apartment go back in, go into their little room and turn off the lights, close the blinds. They were going to bed. They were awake until 5 a.m. They were not waking up at 5 a.m. with me. They were staying up with their friends until 5 a.m. and then going to bed at 5 a.m. And that was just a little moment of like, oh yeah, I forget that I'm not a normal college kid. And I've been thinking about this idea a lot because I feel like I'm finally settling into the fact that I'm not like other people my age. And it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but for so long I've carried so much shame around it that I haven't been able to actually enjoy the things that I enjoy doing because there's always this little hint of shame in the back of my mind. Like, that's weird. No one else your age is doing that. Why are you doing that? You should be doing this. That's kind of what the first couple years of my college experience were. Still engaged in activities that I enjoyed doing, but because of the shame I wasn't actually enjoying them, so I wasn't enjoying my life even though I was doing things that made me happy, if that makes sense. And now I feel like I'm finally at this very good point in my life and in my happiness where I'm like, I'm gonna do the things that make me happy because they make me happy, and I'm gonna allow them to make me happy so that I can actually feel the happiness. And who the frick cares what anyone else my age is doing? I don't care. That is irrelevant to me. My life has nothing to do with their life. The other day I was talking to one of my classmates and she was like, you're so cool. And it made me laugh, and I thought about it for the rest of the day because I was like, nobody close to me, nobody in my family would ever use the word cool to describe me. There are a lot of positive adjectives that they would use. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be self-deprecating, but cool is not an adjective that many people connect with me. And I thought that it was such a beautiful reminder that it's not really about what you do, because I've always kind of been the weirdo, the loner, the girl that just kind of does her own thing. But I think what my classmate admired about me is the way that I live my life and the way that I approach my life, in that I do the things that make me happy, period. And I think that's what she admired and that's what she thought was cool. And I agree. I think it's so cool when you do whatever you want to do, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. If it makes you happy and you're doing your own thing and you're enjoying your life, that is so cool. It is so cool to listen to what your soul is asking of you and calling you to do, because in our society we are never taught to do that. We're honestly most of the time taught to do the exact opposite and listen to our brain and rationalize everything. Why? That's a topic for another day. But for now, cheers to the loners. Just kidding. Nate, why do you think you got into USC?
Honestly, because I just really think I'm smarter than most people.
We love confidence. Jesse, why do you think you got into USC?
Truthfully, I think I fulfilled a geographic quota, so there's not a lot of people from Iowa.
Okay.
I think I'm just here as a place filler.
Got it? Maddie.
I graduated high school with a 4.0. So,
Period, sis.
that was definitely part of it.
Okay, did A minuses count against you though?
I never got an A minus, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, so that makes sense then. That's why Maddie's at USC. Okay, the reason that I asked this question is because there's a misconception that every student at USC graduated at the top of their class, that they got really high scores on their ACT or SAT, etc., etc. And there are a lot of students like that, like Nate and Maddie, but there are also a lot of students like Jesse and I at USC that were surprised to get in. We were not expecting to get in. We were maybe below average of what USC puts out that they
they accept in terms of grades or scores, stuff like that. I have no idea why I got into this school. I can guess. They never tell you why you got in, you know? So I have little insights to maybe why I got in, but I don't know. I did not meet the standard of what they accept, and so I just want to tell anyone that is maybe thinking about applying here that doesn't feel like they will get in, just try. You never know, okay? Try to show your personality in your essays. I really do feel like they have somewhat of a holistic approach to their acceptance process here at USC, because if they didn't, I wouldn't be here. So just try, okay?
Okay, we're talking about how grades don't actually mean that you're the smartest of the smart, because you're only studying to get a good grade on a test. You're not actually learning the information, and then after that class is over, that did nothing for you. And I feel like a lot of people at this school are really good at getting grades, and there also are a lot of intelligent people here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that all of us are the smartest of the smart people, because maybe we're just good at getting good grades. You said it better. Can you repeat what you said? You said it better. I feel like I've made that shift in college, and I've still gotten just as good grades in college as high school, but I've made that shift inside of my own mind. Like, this is stuff that I want to know so that I can use this after college, and that's kind of on you to be like, I'm not going to study the night before because it will all get erased from my brain after the test, as opposed to like, I'm going to take the time each night to study a little bit so that it actually goes into my brain. Because the classes I take here have
I definitely still struggle with that a little bit.
Right now, I'm going to rehearse my solo play. This building is the physical education building, but that's where the SDA classes are held, the School of Dramatic Arts classes. And there's not many classrooms in here. So all of us just fight over classrooms whenever classes are happening, because we all need rehearsal space because we're actors. And I just kicked some people out because I said I had this room reserved, which I definitely do. 100%. Time to rehearse. By the way, that was a joke. My friend who's coming to rehearse with me did reserve this room. I just didn't reserve the room. So I felt like I was lying when I said that, but I wasn't really lying. But technically I was, but I wasn't. I keep having the worst nightmares ever, and this is nothing new. I've had nightmares basically my whole life. Some of my earliest childhood memories are me being scared at night. Normally my nightmares have some sort of theme to them for at least a few weeks or months. Right now my theme is gun violence, which is not surprising because I read about gun violence every single day in the news. It's not even an irrational fear anymore to be terrified of gun violence, specifically going to a university. I mean, that's where we're most vulnerable in our classroom setting. Terrifying. And I feel like growing up, I could tell myself that those fears were irrational, and the people around me could tell me there's nothing to be scared of, and if you looked at the facts, the things that I was thinking about were irrational. But now, it's not irrational. These terrifying things that I'm thinking about are actually coming true in people's lives every single day. People just like me, people with lives just like mine. I don't understand why changes aren't being made. I hate that my 5-year-old niece is having to do active shooter lockdown drills. Like, what? I just don't understand what it will take for these people empowered to care. Why do we have to wait until one of them experiences someone that they love passing away because of gun violence for them to care? Is that what it's gonna take? Like, it shouldn't take that. There are people dying every single day. Children dying every single day. Sometimes I get really frustrated with how deeply I feel. Even though I know that it's a superpower, sometimes it is a detriment to me taking action. You would think, you know, if you care so much, you are more likely to take action and try to make change. And I want to. My heart wants to so badly, but sometimes it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like I almost can't carry it because I feel so deeply. It just weighs on me so much. I don't know how I'm supposed to do anything about it when just reading an article in the newspaper will stick with me and give me nightmares and all this stuff. It's like, I want to engage with it. I want to be a part of the change, but sometimes it feels like me feeling so deeply is not a superpower at all, but the exact opposite that keeps me from doing anything and just makes me this coward that can't actually step up to the plate and use the way that she feels to make a change. And it's really, really frustrating. Good morning. Right now I'm in screen acting class and we're filming scenes today. My teacher brought in his professional camera and they're filming a scene from Harry Met Sally. So fun.
Just curious if there's a variation of like connecting, like being like, there's an opportunity there to take advantage of it. I'll see it, like do it, figure it out in different ways.
We chose, and now
They did both, and we're the only two assholes who only did one.
Okay, we're not assholes. Let's just have some cake. We'll
But
celebrate.
this is no time for celebration.
Can you tell the camera what you told me earlier?
What did I say? What did
how I
say?
inspired you.
Oh yes, yes.
This is purely an ego thing. Go for it. Go for it.
Yes, of course.
On video.
So I told Jada Jo, the beautiful, wonderful Jada Jo, earlier how she inspired me. Basically, I was invited to Costa Rica, and at first I was like, no, I shouldn't go. I need to work. I need to make money. I was like, what would Jada Jo do? She wouldn't do that. She would say, fuck
Jada
it,
Jo
go.
wouldn't work.
She would say, grab your backpack, let's go. So.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm on my rooftop. I'm about to do some Pilates up here. I just watched the sunrise. It was very, very beautiful. I know that this video has been the most random, sporadic video maybe that I've ever made, but that's kind of what my life feels like right now. In a good way though. You know, it's just kind of all over the place. I'm doing a lot of things that I enjoy doing. I'm around a lot of people, a lot of days, which is really good for me. And I'm also spending time by myself and in nature. Yesterday I went on a trail run by myself, and I'm still taking time to do the things that I know that I need to do in order to recharge, to be around other people. But definitely my life has been ramping up a little bit socially, and just with the amount of things that I'm putting on my plate, I just find that I cannot have a lot of things on my agenda when my mental health isn't there. So I've really been focusing on the mental health part, and now I'm able to say yes to more things, and it's just a constant balance, you know, because I'm doing great right now. I feel like I can take on a little bit more responsibility, but that might change in a week, and I have to be flexible with myself, compassionate with myself. But finals are in a couple weeks, so everything is kind of ramping up right now. I'm in a lot of scenes. I told you I'm doing a solo play next week. It's just craziness, but I find time every single day to take a deep breath, just be with myself, do a little breath work, meditation, move my body. That's the secret sauce for me. I feel so happy when I'm up here. I love coming up here.